Okay, so today we'll try to see common functions which are used whenever we are trying to query the Hive. Okay, so let's try to see one by one. Can you just increase the font size by pressing Ctrl plus just once? Yeah, that's fine. That's enough. So the first function is Unix underscore timestamp. Okay, what it says is we will get current Unix timestamp in seconds. Okay, so these all are good to know functions. Okay, because whenever we try to write queries in projects, sometimes scenarios come where we need to convert from one form to the other form. We need to achieve some things at that moment of time. These functions will help us to do some work. Okay, so Unix underscore, not necessarily everything will come, but few of them. So but we need to know some. The first one is Unix underscore timestamp. We will get current Unix timestamp in seconds. Okay, so if you just pass if you just write a small query, select Unix underscore timestamp and you pass the date with the if you pass the date with the time, so it will try to convert the entire date and time into a timestamp. Okay, so it is starting from some default timestamp which I'm not able to recall. Okay, so there is a default Unix time from where it tries to calculate the seconds. Okay, so can you write a small query? Select Unix timestamp. Unix underscore timestamp, and in parentheses in single quotes you can provide today's date with hour colon minute colon seconds anytime, or any date you can provide. It's not necessary today only, any date you can provide. Yeah, 0000 colon 00, anything, whatever comes to your mind. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, so this is the date what we are trying to.
Timestamp.
Okay, so what this function is doing, it is converting into a timestamp. Okay, simple. So whatever the Unix timestamp which it starts from a default, so it is trying to convert into that. Okay, as simple as that. There is no nothing. Okay, majorly in projects what we do is we use a combination of Unix underscore timestamp, and on top of that we write from underscore Unix time to convert the date into a desirable date format. Okay, okay, so let's see. I'll show you that. Let's see the next function. Now it will be like converting the timestamp into a date. Okay, can you show the PDF?
No, it is like converting one date into a number. Is it a number or?
Yeah, this is a number. So but this is in seconds.
This is in seconds.
Yeah,
It is
means
like from somewhere, I mean, from a default value, it is subtracting, and after that it is giving the value.
yeah, from the default date till whatever the date and the time you have given, it is trying to calculate how many number of seconds are there, and that is the count of that. Okay, so let's say I'm starting with the 12 in the night, and let's say the time is 12 10 minutes and 30 seconds. So 10 minutes into 60 is like 600 something, and plus 30, so 630 seconds the output should be somewhat like that.
So always it will subtract from a default value.
Yeah, it will not subtract the default, it will not subtract, it will just try to calculate from that default value to the date which it has given. Bear
I
with
mean,
me.
what is the default value?
Huh?
What is the default value here?
That's what actually I'm not able to recall, because
Okay,
yeah, so maybe like Google it, so you'll get the
yeah,
Unix default start time. I'm not able to recall that value.
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, so now what this is, we are converting into a timestamp. Okay, let's go now. Let's go back to the terminal. So can you right now select now we have used Unix timestamp, right? Now use from underscore Unix time. From underscore Unix time. Yeah. And in parenthesis, can you provide that value? So now what it will do? It will take this second and it will convert the value into a date. Okay. So if you see, we are getting the same value. So like it is identifying the seconds, and depending on that second, so it has been identified. Okay, so till that time, this is the time and this is the date. So that's how we try to do conversion of a date format in projects also. Okay, so it will be a combination of both the things. There will be some scenarios which will be coming. We'll see it later stage. Okay. And let's say the third is, let's say if I want to find a year, if I want to find a month, if I want to find a date, hour, minute, second from a particular time, okay, I can simply pass the this arguments: year, month, minute, date, and etc. etc. Okay, so we'll just see couple of them, and you can just uh, analyze or maybe do hands-on or do R&D at a later stage. Can you go back to your terminal and just write a date, any date of your choice, and just write before that year. So we will try to get a year. So just press up arrow, up arrow. We have that Unix timestamp, right? So just erase that Unix timestamp and just write year. Yeah, looks good. Just remove that Unix timestamp, yeah, and just write year. So from a given date, it will try to fetch a year that's in like 2020, and it should give the output. Okay. If we just try to write the month, we'll get a month. So same way, just try to do R&D after that. So all are like pretty self-explanatory functions, but as it is there, so I'm just going through that. Okay, so I guess self-explanatory. Let's go ahead. To date. This is like we do, means like if a value is coming in a timestamp and I just need a date out of it. Okay, so it displays date from a given date time or a timestamp. Majorly like when we try to take value which is coming in a microsecond, so I don't want all the data with hours, minutes, seconds, and the microseconds value. I just need the date of a column, so I can use my toDate function also. Okay, so that is the thing. Can you give a quick try? So let me know when this means I'm not explaining these functions in detail. Okay, so let me know if you're not able to understand like what are the functions. I am assuming that people are from SQL background, a little SQL knowledge, so all these are like we have used. That is what my assumption is. So if any functions are not able to understand, do let me know. I'll try to go in explaining a little in detail. Okay, can we move? Week of the year. So simply in whatever week we are there from the starting of the day. Okay, so it will try to give us that number of week. Okay, so starting from like so the week starts from Sunday, so that is considered as like 1, and Saturday is considered as 7. So that's how the numbering goes. Okay, and this week of year, so what you have given, so 1st Jan, right? Yeah, so can you change the date? Can you change it like to 23rd Jan? So it will try to give it like 4th week something. Yeah, so it is giving us the 4th week. Okay, so in the January 23rd date falls in the 4th week. So it is trying to give us that value. Date difference is a very important function again, because sometimes there comes a scenario, okay, wherein where we needed to find the difference. I remember a scenario wherein I was working for a procurement project, so wherein we needed to find means there was a requirement that whenever the order was taken and the delivery was delivered, so we needed to find out what was the time taken to deliver that order. Okay, at that moment of time we have used this date diff function. Okay, so with this we used to know, okay, so when the order was given and when the order was delivered. So based on that time we used to define the SLAs, that is the service level agreement of the orders ordered. And if any of the orders were getting beyond that SLAs, so that we used to escalate in a different values, a different table. So client used to see and they used to investigate why it has been over the SLA. Okay, that was the scenario. Yeah, let's go ahead with the date diff. So you can give any two dates. So you can give any two dates and it will just give you the difference between those two dates in days format. 7,245 days. Okay, so you have taken 2,000. Okay, that's not a concern. So just to see a realistic, can you change it to like 20? So like 2020. So January 30 days, February maybe 28, 29 something. Okay, and that is fine. Let it March. That is fine. Just a matter of 2 months and 1 day. Okay. So it is taking the minus 60 first argument should be greater than the second argument. You'll have to. That's fine. Just press up arrow and just change the second argument to 23rd January, which you have taken earlier. Make it to Jan and yeah, the second argument. No, that is fine. Yeah, just change it to 23rd. Okay, so like 22 to 22 days are like the date difference between these two. Okay, so first argument should be greater, so that is like it is, hence it is giving like minus 22. That is understandable. Okay, so that is your date diff function.
Saif, in the date difference, it is just returning the row difference in the days,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, what if I want to return the difference in minutes or seconds, something like that?
Date difference in minutes. I think we need to. I don't think so. There is a function which I am able to recall. Can you just write show functions? We'll need to do certain calculations after doing something. Okay. So can you scroll a little up slowly, slowly? Second, we can see something. Radians, power, minute, month, max. What you can do is maybe like you can first of all, let's say there is a date. Okay, so you want to find out the difference in minutes. I don't think so. You'll have to do certain different logic. You'll have to apply a different logic to that, because what I'm able to recall is as of now, need date subtract, date add. Not able to see current date, current timestamp. If I just do like a date, which I just give my minutes, maybe we'll have to come with up a different idea to find out the difference in minutes. Do we have something in Oracle database to find out the difference in minutes?
Actually, I don't know. In SQL Server, we have the same date difference function, but we can pass the current parameter whether we want it in hours, minutes, or seconds, something like S or M. Then it will return based on.
So whatever the dates like we are trying to find is like converting into minutes. Okay. Is it giving some value? Oh yeah, it is giving some value, but that is like 2.26. We can do like round up also on top of that. We can apply a round function and just minimize it to two decimals. We can do that. Try doing that. Is it achievable? Open parenthesis. Yeah. Go to the end. No, 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 not there. No, 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 not there. At the end.
After 60.
Yeah. Comma 2. No. Yeah. Execute this. And can you make it in higher one line? Good. It is going to an exponential format.
Okay.
Okay, that's not a concern. So maybe like we can work out on it. So that is not an issue. So let's make a move. But we are able to fetch that value, so we just need to divide it by 60 something. So we should get that. So date difference we have seen in the similar way, like we have a date add function. Okay. So date add, like same way how the above function was minusing the date, so it is like adding the dates. Okay. So try doing all those things, Manoranjan, step by step, and whenever like any functions which you are not able to understand, let me know. So date add, date subtract, like self-explanatory functions are these. So like in Oracle, like we have add months, so we try to use that add months and using like day, month, hour format. So we try to do something. So here we have a date add function. So we have added 5 days. Okay. Similarly, you can use date subtract to subtract the days. Okay. So what it will do, it will just remove some days from a given date. Yeah, I think just syntax is, I think, SUB, I guess. Is it full form? I've never used this. Yeah, it's small. I mean, it's like SUB only. These are all like good to know functions. Okay, whenever the requirement comes or whenever the scenario comes at that moment of time, it might be helpful. Current date. So it will give us the current date. So that is like 22nd October. So same way we have current time as well. Current timestamp. Okay, so these are all like date functions which help us to play with like current date, time. Okay, thanks Roshan. So 1970 is the default date from where the epoch time is calculated. Seal. So it will take like seal, we all know seal function is like sealing. So it will, whatever the value which you are trying to give, so it will try to take to the next integral value. Yeah, sorry, last day. Yeah, take it, do it, do it, whatever you're doing. Last day. So we have like last day functions in Oracle. Yeah, we have last day as well. Okay, so whatever the date which you give, by default it will give us the last day. If you want to find out the first day of the month, after that you can just write +1. Hopefully it should give you the first day of the next month. That's how we play in like Oracle databases. So same way, hopefully here also you can play with that if a scenario comes. Okay. Sealing. So this was, I was telling that, so whatever the means like value which you are trying to provide in the integral and the decimal form, it takes you to the next level, to the next integral level. So let's say if I'm trying to write 9.1, so it will take me to 10. Okay, if I'm trying to write 9.7, still it will take me to the 10. So it does not it does not evaluate, or it does not consider the value after the decimal. Okay, straight away it goes to the next value. Okay, even if you write 10.7, can you write 10.7? So ideally, like what we generally know is after decimal it's like 0.5 or greater than 0.5, so it always take to the next level. But when we are using the seal and floor function, it does not considers your 0.5 consideration. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Sealing function and the floor function. So floor, what it will do, it will come to the lower bound integral, so it should be 10. Okay, so even if like it's like greater than 0.5, if you see now 0.7 is there, still it is coming to 10. Okay, so it does not take, or it does not considers, it just considers your integral value. It sees that and it evaluates it and it performs some sealing or flooring. So the round function which we used, okay, so yeah, so the round function will play a role. So when it is like what I was telling, if the precision is 5 or more than 5, then only it will try to consider it rounding up to the next level. Okay, small functions which we all know, the same functions, because Hive gives a taste of SQL like queries. Okay, so as the meta store is like, we have assigned a meta store of MySQL, most of the syntaxes will be like close to MySQL syntax. Okay, so if you see now, when we are trying to write select round of 10.6, in the seal case we were getting 11, in the floor case we were getting 10, but in the round case we are getting 11. Okay, now can you do 10.2? So it will just give, okay, you have already done. Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, that's fine then. Okay, concat, we all know concat. So what it tries to do, it tries to concatenate the given string by any delimiter of your choice. Okay, so can you just try to concatenate your name Manoranjan by providing first string, comma, the literal, comma, the second string. No, only we no concatenate, only concat. Yeah, yeah, that is fine. And you can just type your first name and comma last name. I will need to provide the literal also. Yeah. Okay. So it is giving me like on top of that you can just write upper, lower. Can you just do? Can you just press up arrow? I think we should have upper. Yeah. Just go back before to the up. Yeah. Concat. Before concat. Yeah. Can you just write upper, open parenthesis, and the end and closing parenthesis. UPPER. Just press end keyword. Yeah, you'll go to the end. Okay, so like we are using nested functions. So the functions are like functions inside the function. So these are called examples of nested functions. So the same way you can write upper, lower. Once you derive a value with some function, on top of that you can write one more function. Okay, they are called nested functions. Okay, let's see what is the thing. Small functions are there. Okay, length, pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, just can you go to that, and on top of that you can just write length. It will just give you like Manoranjan, then hyphen and the Giri. So whatever the like characters including the hyphen. Okay, so like the Manoranjan hyphen Giri, it's like 15 characters long. So that's what the count it is showing to us. Okay, so lower and upper we have just seen that, right? So it's like helpad. Helpad, like we know what it does. It does the left padding, right? L pad, R pad, L trim, R trim, trim. You need to give the string, yeah, in a single quote. And then the character. Okay, so, and can you just give 2, whether it truncates here also? Let me see that. Can you just press up arrow? And in spite of 10, can you give 2? Does it truncates? Like same like Oracle? Yeah, it is doing the same thing. Okay, so always remember that the value which you are trying to give should not be less than the string. Okay, so actually this was one of the production issue which we got. So that time I got to know this function. Otherwise, I just know LPAD and RPAD straight away. So what we did then, in spite of hard coding, is we used to take the length and then we used to do something. So that's what it. Okay, so it is behaving same like Oracle. Yeah, that's good. So we can just do RPAD also. Majorly, I have worked on Oracle, so I always try to relate with Oracle. So, okay, so whatever the string which we are trying to provide now, it is padding to the right hand side. Okay, that is what it is trying to do. L padding, R padding. Okay, same way, yeah, that's what we have seen. The trim function. So the trim function, what it does, it removes the white spaces from your character, from the given string. Okay, L trim, R trim. You can just give a string and just give some space to the left side to L trim. Just give some spaces to the right to R trim, and give spaces to both the sides and do trim. So you'll get inside. All these are like small functions which we have already used, but whenever, like, just give a try. Okay, so yeah, now here you have given the spaces before and after also. Now you don't know, because now you are using only L trim, right? So you will not know whether my right spaces are removed or not. Okay, so either you can use trim, so it will remove the spaces from both the sides. And how will you verify that? Can you just press up arrow and up arrow? Yeah, and before L trim, can you write length, length, length function? So this will give you the length function starting from Saif, and I think there are 2 spaces. It should be 6 or 7 something. Okay, it is giving 6. And can you just press up arrow twice again when you use trim function? So it should give you only 4 count. Yeah, can you use length over here? So just like playing with the data, nothing else. Okay, so if you want to evaluate the data, like, because the spaces are not able to recognize over here. Okay, so L trim, it removes the spaces, white spaces from your left. R trim from the right. Then if need to remove from both the areas, we'll go for a trim function. Okay, let's make a move. Reverse, it reverses a string. Whatever the string is given, it is just try to reverse the thing. Okay, so let's not go. Split is one of the important function. Okay, why it is one of the important function is because when you maybe like when you go to the programming paradigm, like either it could be a Scala Spark or PySpark, this function is heavily used. Okay, why it is heavily used? Because day in day out we try to play with files, and when we are trying to play with files are always separated with some delimiters. Okay, either it could be a comma or it could be a pipe. These are the 2 delimiters which we frequently get from the source systems. Okay, so there comes a scenario wherein we need to break the files into columns. At that moment of time, we try to split the columns using a delimiter, and for that we need to use a function called split. Okay, cool. So let's try to see a small example over here. So just try to give your name in a string with separated by either a comma or a pipe symbol, and try to give that separator in a second element, in a second argument. So it will try to split that. Yeah. So it is returning you a collection of elements, okay? So which is nothing but two elements which is being returned as Manoranjan is the first element and the second element is nothing but Giri, okay? So that's how it is working. Okay, let's make a move. Substring. We all know like substring and instring. Substring returns the characters of a given string, okay? And instring returns a position. Okay, let's try to see that function. Let's come over here and means can you, yeah, just press up arrow, will take your name, and no, that is fine, that is fine. So yeah, just press up arrow. Yeah, can you just write substring? So 1 2 3. Okay, so just cross check. I think, is it substr or string? Substr, it should be right. Yeah. So in some databases it has substring with the full form. In some databases it's like shortcut. Okay. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay. So can you just write 1 comma 10? Okay. So what we are trying to do is starting position is first and we are going up to 10 characters, which means like I'm trying to find out the exact word Manoranjan. Hence I went till 1. Okay. So maybe I can start from 12 also. Can you just say 12? And from 12, can you write 12 comma 14? So we'll try to get like the last surname of yours. 12 13 14. Yeah, so we are trying to get that. Okay, and try to give some 4 characters. Minus it will not give you. Okay. Just try to give after 12 comma 4. Can you try to give 4? Again it should give us the same result. Yeah. Okay, so we are starting from the 12th position, and after 12th position, what is the 12th position? G. Okay, so from 12th we are trying to go till the 4th character. Okay, and the length is optional, so even if you just write 12, so it will start from G and it will go to the end of the line, so it will not see whether it's like whatever it is there. Okay, so the length is optional, starting position is mandatory. Okay, so substring gives you the characters and instring returns you the position. So now let's say I want to find out the position of my hyphen. Okay, so you can use your instring syntax. Okay, so the syntax is like string, we need to provide the format, then comma, then the position, like start position, start from first, comma, and what should be the occurrence. So as of now we only have one, so just give it first occurrence. So what, okay, it is giving us an error. What it is telling is length mismatch, instr, so there is a string, there is like a syntax issue. Yes, but there is no separator of a comma after your surname. Yes, sorry. So Manoranjan Giri, comma, then yeah, the syntax is correct. Can you see what is the issue? Like instring accept exactly 2 arguments. Okay, we are trying to give more arguments.
No, I think if you give one, so it will start searching from first position till the end. To search that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. So,
Second, machine non-native.
no, no. So the syntax is correct because I usually write the syntax in Oracle. Can you go to your PDF? Because if there are multiple occurrences, then how I will have to do, correct? So just need to see the syntax. Okay, it is accepting only two characters. That's what it was saying. It is not accept, means here in Hive it is behaving differently. See the error, if you see the function in at the end, if you see it is accepting only two arguments. So that is like that is means if we, it's not correct I guess, but still means if the value is output is correct. But what if like I have like if you say I have like multiple hyphens, then what would happen if I want to find out the second occurrence of that count, opposition
Yeah,
of that?
telling that Oracle syntax. This is
Yeah, so that's what actually I was writing the Oracle syntax. In Hive actually we don't have that. No issues. So that is like substring and string. NVL, it replaces your null values with the specified string. Okay, so can you, so null coalesce, null value replace. Okay, so if, so you can use your tables also. Now what we are trying to give is we can use
right.
anything. Yeah, so we are just using the hard coded values, but in place of that we can use the column name also. Okay, so wherever the column value is coming as a null, that would get replaced with NA. Okay, let's make a move. Coalesce. So coalesce, what it does is it returns the first not null value. Let's say there are three columns. Let's say the three columns are like country, state, and city. Okay, if let's say whatever the value which is coming as first, I need to specify the city, then I need to specify the state, then I need to specify the country. Okay, if any of the value is coming as a not null, let's say city is coming null and state is coming, let's say some Chennai, so I want to give that output. Let's say city is coming null, state is also coming null, but country is coming as India, so I want to give that value. Okay, let's say city is coming, let's say uh, Hinjewadi. Okay, and state is coming as null and country is coming as a null. So first not null value is like Hinjewadi, which is a city, so I'll get that as a value. Okay, so that is what the meaning of coalesce is. What coalesce does is it tries to evaluate the string, whichever the value is a not null, the first value, as soon as it encounters that value, it does not goes beyond that, it will print you that value. Okay, got it? Can you hit this? You can give any choice of yours, no need to see the PDF also. You can give any choice of yours, it's not a compulsion that we need to give the same data. You can give any data of your choice. Okay, So if you see, the first value is A, hence it is giving us the A. So it is not going beyond that. Okay. As soon as it encounters the first not null value, and if all the values are null, so it will return you null. Okay. Can you test that? So just try to remove everything and just give 2 nulls or 3 nulls which are already there. Just remove that A, B and C. Okay. So we can't do anything at that moment of time. Okay. At that moment of time, what we can do is, on top of this, we can, means let's say if a scenario comes, let's say enter it, means let's say we are trying to get that. Okay, we are getting a null. But if client says, let's say if we are not getting anything in these 3 columns, I need to default something. So we can use like I don't know, replace function is available over here. Can you just write replace? Okay, you are using NVL. Yeah, not available. Okay, you can use NVL. Okay, or else even that is fine. So like we can make use of like functions which are already available. Okay, as Hive was like introduced earlier, so the versions which got upgraded slowly and slowly might be having few new functions. Okay, so these are the functions which like in Cloudera VM 5.8, but nowadays like Hive version is like 3.1 which is going in the production. So it could be difference between the functions which are available in the current release as compared to the release which we are seeing in this Cloudera VM. Okay, Colis. If case, if case is this like how we do like case and decode in Oracle. Okay, same way we can try to do the if else statement. Okay, what it is trying to do is it is, means let's say, do you have some table? Can you just show tables? Can you take, yeah, manager EMP, in last table? Yeah, take that. Yeah, so we have some records, 8 to 10 records. Okay, so what we'll try to do is, can you go to your PDF now? So see, yeah, so what it does is it gives us the flexibility to use if else statement. Okay, for a particular value, let's say means let's say if in some column some value is coming. Okay, what I can do is I can take that. So here what I have written, if location is Pune, then I need to have my name and ID. Okay, otherwise it is giving me as a uh, no value. Okay, that is what it is trying to do. Okay, if you see in the example, what I have written is select if location is Pune. So can you see the record like first? Okay, first record and the third record and the fourth record. Okay, all those records are like what you say, belongs to Pune. So hence I am trying to get the value. If the means it's the same like if else, how we try to write in a programming paradigm. Can you write a small if else in your current current table? Anything of your choice. Syntax is not correct. Can you go to your PDF? Yeah, location equals to, sorry, I considered it should be. Never use this if else. We don't know the column name, right? So ID F name it should be, right? The first second column means, or the last column is, let's say, city. If city equals to, let's say, something, try to take any value which is repeating or not repeating also, that is also fine. ID and name is not there, right? So That is F name. I hope so, because I can see the first name and last name. That's what I'm assuming. So I have just given like, yeah, from the table name, so just to test whether it was working or not. Yes.
Okay.
Can we test the data, because it was like long back. So city equals to Pimple. Okay, 104. If city equals to Pimple, we are getting an ID.
Can you put a star in front of it?
Yeah, yeah. So can you just remove that ID and comma F name and just place star. So, and I
Uh,
think it should be in a single quote.
No, I mean before the if condition. I think it is fine what we wrote. Before, I mean after the select, before the star. If, can you put star comma?
This
Yeah.
will work. Will have to give a table alias, I guess. Yeah, execute this. Let's see if it throws an error. We'll try to see that. Just try to give ID, comma ID. Yeah, hit enter. So what it is telling is argument length mismatch. The function if expression 1, expression 2, expression 3. Okay, got it. So the syntax is, if the condition is matching, give me this, else give that. Okay, so that is what the syntax is. So what we are trying to do is, we are trying to evaluate a syntax called if city equals to Pimple. Okay, so if that is meeting, that we are trying to give the first result or else the F name. Did we get the syntax?
no.
Okay, so can you just highlight the data 104? Okay, what we have written a syntax, if city equals to Pimple, right? If this
Yes.
condition is meeting, what I need to get ID. So
Please one not for
yes, else I
else
need,
not for.
yeah, else I need to get my F name. So if you see in the output, we are getting all the first name. Wherever the ID, wherever the city is Pimply, for that record, we are getting the ID as the record.
Okay. Okay.
If condition is meeting, give me this, else that. If else. How we
Okay.
write in programming.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Understood. Understood.
Yeah, yeah. I have never used this. So, and when we don't go that much in Hive in writing these type of queries. Mostly, like we would have gone like case and decode. I don't know case decode supports here or not. Yeah, yeah. So we see now we are having a case statement. If you see select location case, when location equals to Pune, then triple star, else double star, whatever, whatever. You can just write a small case statement here also on your table. So case, again, it gives us the flexibility to write the if else logic, but also it gives us the flexibility to write some functions inside the conditions also. What is the condition you have written? Select city. Okay, we are trying to city. When city equals to Pimple, then I need to have 1 star. Okay, 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 got it. So whenever the yeah, got it. Yeah, okay, got it. Right, right. Yeah, looks good to me. So same like if else. the case statement which we all are known to. So generally we go for case statement. So if else like we don't use. These are like windowing functions and analytic functions, very useful functions to play a role. Okay, rank, dense rank, row underscore number, explode. Okay, let's see rank function. So what does rank does is it in this function sequence is skip. Okay, so for that I think we'll have to cook some data, because let's try to cook some data. Let's try to create a file which will have three columns: ID, name, and salary. And we'll try to give some repeated salaries so that we can see the ranking. Create quickly means we can just create like three columns only we need to see. No, try to give 5,000 only, because we need to, yeah, even that is fine. This will not give you the exact result. What you can do is, can you make the last record is fine. Can you make the second record to 5,000? 5,000. So the and third record, can you make it to 7,000? And last record, can you make it to 8,000? Yeah. So we'll come to a good scenario. Yeah. Now can you create a file? And you'll have to create a table also. Create a file, create a table, load the data. Okay. Yeah. This is not the data. I think the file is incorrect.
I'm not taking the headers, okay?
Yeah, it's your call. No issues. You'll have to create the table accordingly. If you take the headers, mention the property. If you're not taking the headers, don't mention. It's your call. No issues. Play with it. Just create a table. I'll be back in a minute. Move ahead.
This is okay, right? Rohan? Rohan?
to see this, like we just need to verify the data. We are not worried about this. We are just worried
No,
about the data.
the local path I want to see.
Okay, okay.
Lotus.
Is there any issue?
I do not find the local path.
No, no, no. Means what happening?
I need to give the path here, right?
Okay, 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 okay. So you are trying to do in this way. Okay, just do PWD, na? PWD, present working directory.
Not Cloudera. Cloudera, home Cloudera.
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
yeah. That's the path and the file name, and you have already got with.
Just one second, I want to see this.
Okay, no issues. Have you placed that file in your Hadoop file system? You mean to say?
Yes,
Okay, so then will not PWD will not work. Why? Because PWD is your local file system path.
correct.
So that
I
is
need
like,
to
yeah,
put that file there.
yeah. So did you use the hyphen put command?
Not, not yet.
Okay, actually I'm confused. Like what you did actually. Okay, so first like
Actually,
you created the.
he created employee one in local system, so
Okay,
he just want to read that. So you need to use cat command and employee one dot text. So you
No, in
can,
the local directory, I have created that file.
yeah.
Now I
So
have to
in
put
this
in
command,
the JBus.
okay, 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 okay,
That
okay,
I'm doing.
okay, okay. Got
in
it. Do.
minutes,
Yeah. Just remove that ext at the end. Ext is not readed, right? Because that is not directory.
Correct, correct.
Because HFS is our directory, right? Yeah. Okay, and right. And you'll have to create, because you are using a location keyword, right? You could have used Manoranjan. You could have used your local. You could have created a directory in your local file system also, and you could have given the directory path of that also. And also
It's
you
not
can do SDFS also. So first, see, under HFS you will have to create a directory first,
okay.
and then you will have to place the file if you want to use a location keyword, right? Because under
Yes.
HFS there will be so many directories, so it will get confused like which directory data it needs to be picked, right?
But shall I do one thing? Now in
Uh-huh.
HFS directory, I'll create one directory. After that, I'll put that file there.
Yes, that's what you have to do. So whenever you want to use your location keyword, always remember the directory should be available either in your local file system or Hadoop file system. And under that directory, the data as a file should be available. Yeah. So it should not be home Cloudera, it should be user Cloudera. And it should not be
Saif,
LFS, it should be input / HFS, and you can give just any name. Let's say test directory. Yeah. So now we are creating this directory. Now push this, the employee1.txt, the file which you have created, to this under this directory, and then place that directory path to the table creation. You can press Ctrl R and you can just that is there. Yeah. No. You have not given the test directory, right? You are not putting into the test directory. You are putting under HFS directory.
Is it?
Yeah. So what you need to do is press up arrow again and give the test directory. Yeah. Now you can copy this path, user Cloudera input HFS test, and place that over in a notepad.
Okay.
So that would be picked. Otherwise, you could have done like simply create the table and load data command.
Yeah.
anything is fine. Yeah. Okay, you are trying to do load data only. No. What you are trying to do? I'm not able to get it.
No, file I have created. After that, created a table.
Okay, table is created, right?
Already created.
Then you are trying to load the data, right?
Right.
So if you are trying to load the data, you just need to give your input file input. You have to give your local edge node path, or you have to give your Hadoop file system path. No need to create the directory. I thought you are creating the location. So you don't need to give the test directory. Just remove that test and just write your file name. What is your file name now? And you are trying to, and again you are trying. See, the syntax is. See, there are first step is, have you created the file, right?
Correct. I have created.
Second step, you have created the table, right?
Created.
Now there are not multiple, there are two approaches. The first approach is either you can use load command, or the second approach is, while creation of a table, you can use location argument, right?
I'll do one thing.
No. Let me clear it, because you are getting confused. Now you have created the table without location, right?
Yes.
So now with which option you can go?
Import data.
Yeah, so you can go only with the first option. You can't go with the second option because your table is created, right?
Yes.
So you cannot use your by placing the file you are trying to. Okay, you are trying to do that method. Okay, so now just simply use load data command. Load data local in path. Now if you are using load data local in path, see the path which you are trying to give is of Hadoop file system.
Yes.
So remove that local keyword then. Are you able to get what we are trying to do? I think you are pretty, means like you are confused, like full confused.
Yes, confused. See, I know that if I give that local keyword here, I mean that local keyword here, then I have
Local,
to
not local, location.
location. Yes.
Yeah.
Then that from HDFS, my file will be available there. Then the data I have to move to the table.
Right.
This is one way.
Yes. Yeah, that is the one way, and the other way. Hello.
Is it like
Otherwise, if we create the table and then using the load command, we can load the data from the text file to the table.
okay. Okay, second one what to do?
So you just need see what.
Yeah.
See, you are trying to load the data, right? From where you are trying to load the data, from Hadoop file system or from your edge node? Actually, I have a session. Yeah, actually, I have a session now, so I need to drop off actually. So I have a session actually which needs to be taken. So it is scheduled at 8:15. So maybe I'll continue this tomorrow. We'll try to continue this from tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.